Welcome to another episode of OBH Sports. This episode is sponsored by Snubbed Coffee. Head over to snubbedcoffee.com or snubbedrecords.com. Takes you to the same place. Click on coffee. Buy some coffee. Our signature roast, Punk Roast, is single origin from Medellin, Colombia. Snubbed Coffee. Get some coffee.
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
Then you take us out on feet.
Back in 82, when the Cowboys was strong, I played flag football.
Sports.
Oh, sports.
Sports. I got to talk about something real quick.
Do it.
We're sportsing it up tonight.
Sportsing it up.
Yep. We're
That's
all
what we do.
baseball fans. Anybody who listens to this podcast understands that we're baseball fans, and we hope that you're baseball fans. But I got to talk about a dude for my Washington Nationals, who's our shortstop of the future, whose name just happens to be CJ Abrams. This dude is killing it right now. Killing it.
There you go.
He's our superstar of the future. I got to talk about
It's
this.
true. It's true. He's a highlight reel.
Dude, over the last 40 games, he's hitting 325 with 6 dingers, 23 stolen bases. What's his RBI total? I want to say his RBIs are like 27. Only 6 walks. What else were his other stats?
OPS.
OPS of like 863. Slugging over 500. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's over 500. His on-base percentage is like 370 something. Like, this kid is legit. And mind you, out of the 23 stolen bases that he has over those last 40 games, caught stealing is 0.
Wow.
Yeah, he's our Ellie Cruz.
For the non-baseball people, anything over 300 average is borderline
Amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So
In 2023, only 17% of hitters are, I think, 290 and above.
Mhm.
Yeah, 17%. That's low. Most MLB players don't steal 23 bases in a single season.
not unless you're Ricky Henderson.
Wow. Ricky was a bit better than that.
I'm
He
just
was
putting on
ridiculous.
the grander scale there. Like that's a ton of stolen bases in a small amount of time.
And to throw some love at Ron. I think Vince Coleman could be held up there in a
Mhm.
ex-Met.
Yeah. Yep.
Not nowhere near Ricky Henderson, because shit, I think the only other person you could hold in the conversation with Ricky Henderson is Lou Brock. And even
Yeah.
Lou Brock, looking back now, doesn't really touch Ricky. But if there was a third person in that conversation, Vince Coleman would be that third person. Those are probably the 3 most prolific base stealers of all time.
By numbers,
Well, by numbers, I do believe that those are the only 3 people to ever steal 100 bases in a season.
Hmm.
And Lou Brock only did it once. Vince Coleman only did it once. Ricky Henderson did it like 8 times. To tell you how good
Ricky
of a
Henderson
base
was a
stealer
fucking alien.
Ricky Henderson was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He's one of my favorite baseball players of all time, and he was never on one of my favorite teams. And the motherfucker only referred to himself in the third person in all interviews, which also makes him one of my favorite sports players, not just baseball, but sports or athletes of all time.
when you have something coined after your name, the Henderson triple, like, I mean,
Yeah.
you can refer to yourself in the third person.
I do believe you wrote a song called the Henderson Triple, did you not?
Yeah, we named it the Henderson triple, but it didn't have anything to do with the Henderson triple.
Yeah,
but like,
it still exists.
It does. It's a thing.
And on top of that, that might be the best song of that album. That might be one of your best songs of period.
I appreciate that. Thought it was a banger.
Well, it's definitely one of your best songs. Or Inside Jokes, I should say that. One of Inside Jokes' best songs, maybe the best Inside Jokes song. That's debatable.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you naming a song the Henderson Triple.
We snuck a lot of baseball references in there, to be honest with you.
I mean, you sold me hook, line, and sinker.
If you could do a baseball Mount Rushmore, but like not of people who you think are the greatest, but people who are your favorite baseball players of all time.
I could do this. I could do this pretty quickly, I think.
And again, we'll do 5 because you get a crazy horse.
We get a crazy horse. Or in baseball terms, you get a Ricky Henderson.
That's right.
He's a goddamn unicorn. I know they call Shohei Ohtani the unicorn of baseball, which it's hard to argue with that because he is literally the first Major League Baseball player to pitch full seasons and hit full seasons and do what he's doing. It's been done before. Don't be wrong. We all know that Babe Ruth was a pitcher.
I totally disagree with that comparison. I completely disagree with that comparison.
I mean, I do too. It was a different era. And the most home runs that Babe Ruth ever hit while he was a pitcher for the Red Sox was like, I think 20. And it was like his only double digit. When he did that, when he was still in the Red Sox, it was like unheard of to hit 20 home runs. And that's one of the reasons I believe the Yankees bought him. This goes back to my childhood knowledge from reading Baseball Encyclopedia, so I could be a little off on this stat, but I do believe I'm correct.
So he hit 20 home runs as a pitcher
for the Red Sox, but only one season. While he was a pitcher for the Red Sox, I think the most home runs he ever hit outside of this one season was like 6, because he did hit a little bit for the Red Sox while he was a pitcher.
Well, you look at the amount of home runs people hit back in the day as opposed to now. It's a very skewed.
Yeah.
So there's also that.
Yeah. What Shohei Ohtani is doing currently, it's not like it's never been done before, because it has, but not with the numbers and the success that he's having. No one has ever come close to that. But there's been plenty of pitchers who hit and pitched, but they were all early era. You know,
I think once you go back before 1970, it's a totally different game. Especially if you're talking about Babe Ruth, the 20s and 30s when pitchers pitched full games. You didn't have any African Americans or any Latino players.
Pre-1970?
Well, I'm saying the 60s. Definitely pre-60s, I think it's a different game. But sure. I think for sure from the 20s and 30s and 40s, it's a different game.
I think the 60s is where it changed, to be honest. During the 60s is where the game of baseball changed, because I would put the 70s in with the 80s, 90s, and current era. It was, a lot of the 70s players couldn't stand up to what some people do now, but you saw the first super freaks in the 70s. You saw Roberto Clemente.
Johnny Bench.
Yeah. And Pete Rose. You saw the first super freaks in the 70s.
Yeah.
All right, we're tapping into my list here, so stop.
All right. All right. Well, Travis, why don't you go first then?
Remember, this is a list of fandom, not necessarily who you think is the best baseball player, but it could be both.
No, it's definitely based off of fandom. The first one. Okay. You guys are gonna die.
Are you putting JT Realmuto on there?
No.
Okay.
No.
I know you love that guy.
I love that guy, but I love this guy even more. Fucking coming off the mound, burning heaters in the dugout. Fucking Charlie Huff.
Nice.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
The dude who was like 28 and looked like he was
Looked like he was
58.
50. Yeah, that guy, he didn't even look good for 100. Like,
He seriously looked like he was in his 50s when he was in his 20s. That's not even a joke.
He's one of my favorite Marlins of all time. He threw the first pitch at Marlins, or whatever the fuck it was called back then, Joe Robbie or something. Threw the first pitch for the team at the home game in their inaugural season. And it was a knuckleball pitcher. I just love that guy. I love knuckleball pitchers.
Yeah.
In no specific order, I'm gonna go pitcher guy, Jose Fernandez.
Cool.
Being that you're a Marlins fan, I very much so understand that. He was like your guy, being a Skins / Washington Commanders fan / Washington football team fan. Sean Taylor, he was your guy, Sean Taylor. He was the Marlins, Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
When he would pitch, every fifth day, they would call it Jose Day.
I remember,
and it would almost guarantee to win, man. And like that was one of the few. Like I don't get when an athlete passes away or like an actor or someone famous passes away. I don't have any emotional attachment to that. Like, oh, that's sad, that sucks. But like I was so every fifth day. I mean, I watch almost every Marlins game. So like so invested with Jose. And then like you get into his like personal life. He's so close with his mother and his grandmother. And it was like, I can totally relate to that. And so like when he passed, it was like, fuck, like that one was that was brutal. Like that was tough.
Oh, dude,
I actually felt something for that.
I watched this shit live, and I'll feel with you on this one because that next game.
Oh, D. Gordon,
he hit. I watched that shit live. He hit that home run. He cried all the way running around the bases, and he hadn't hit a home run in like so.
That was his
long.
first. That was his first home run of the season.
Yeah, he hadn't hit a home run in like fucking like 100+ games or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was, dude, and that was real. I remember watching that game. We were sitting around the dinner table, and we were just silence. I was just like, "Fuck, dude!" And it was off of the Mets. It was off of Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, Fatolo.
Hey, I love that guy.
You were pronouncing it wrong.
Take it easy on Big Sexy, man.
Yeah, he's funny as shit.
There's no sexy to it. It's just big.
I still do think to this day, like that first pitch was a meatball fastball right down the middle, and I like Bartolo's a good guy. I don't know. I mean, that I think
he felt the inner strength and just fucking rocked it, dude. That was a solid swing.
Oh, dude, he got a piece of it. There's no doubt about it. But it was a choice pitch.
I disagree. I think Fatolo is not a good human being. I think D was underrated, and I think D's skinny arms did something with the spirit of fucking dude in there, and he ripped it.
Could be.
I can't give Fatolo any credit.
You just got to leave us curvy motherfuckers alone, man. Like,
I know he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, Travis.
I mean, dude, he's out there. I mean, I don't know. He's either like 200 or 400 pounds. No one even knows. And he's out there playing professional baseball, still throwing 90+ miles an hour. Like,
yeah,
he was not throwing 90.
Dude loses his breath
Why?
tying his cleats.
He sweats peeling oranges. Like,
yeah.
His fastball towards the end there was clearly in the 80s.
God, I feel attacked.
He did hit a home run in his elder years, the first of his career when he was like 41 years old as a pitcher. I think it was it last season? The last year of pitchers batting, or maybe it was the season before that.
It was one of the two.
It was earlier. Yeah. It was before that.
It was 2 seasons ago. But he hit a home run. I believe they were in San Diego when he hit that.
And he would do his fastball was 90. All right. I do remember that. It was 90. Was it 96? No. But was it 90? Yeah. And it kind of like he had this wind up where he kind of like held the ball out to the side and it was like
it was his role as pushing his arm out.
That's right.
What it was. Yeah.
He had to get that French fry grease on the ball.
Oh,
Churro. Okay. All right. We got we gotta move on. No. All right. My third one is Teddy fucking Williams.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. That's
One of arguably one of the greatest hitters of all time. Really figured it out for that.
too
time.
hard to not have him on there.
Yeah. So I had to go old school.
Yep.
Personal favorite idol, my favorite pitcher of all time, Greg Maddux.
Nice.
That's a solid choice. He is the best pitcher of all time that couldn't even come close to a 90 mile an hour fastball, 90 plus mile an hour fastball.
So I bet. So there are many interviews where he's like, I could have thrown it harder, but my thing was location. So I bet if he threw it hard, he would. I bet he would have lived around 93, but he would have lost his game.
He used his brain his whole career.
Yeah, 100%.
His fastball was like 88 to 86 miles an hour for his whole career, and he was one of the best pitchers that ever lived.
His four seamer, or was it a two seamer? I forget what he threw, but regardless, his fastball. I mean, it moved like a screwball. Like I've never seen so much movement on a pitch that was under 90 miles an hour. Like
I'm not
just mind blowing.
And I'm not saying the dude never touched 90 a day in his career, but he consistently was under 90 and just killed him. I bet his average fastball was 88, which is probably about the average changeup this day and age. I'm pretty sure I've seen that stat before that has said that his average fastball through his career was 88 miles an hour. But his fucking changeup, the bottom dropped out of his changeup.
And it was just location. I'm going to look this up real quick, but I think he threw like a high 70s pitch count complete game one time.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. He's one of the best pitchers in Major League.
77.
Yeah. He's one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. Top 10, I'd say, of all time.
Oh, for
sure. To take them out. For sure.
Yep. And Greg he was in the best baseball commercial of all time with
him and Glavine.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Chicks dig him and Glavine, man. Glavine was a beast right up until he went to the Mets. Sorry, Ron.
He was a beast for the Mets for a minute. And then he went to the Yankees and became, it's the classic Mets. The Mets are the rest stop. The Mets are like the highway rest stop for players.
You'll always have 69.
It's like, I got to take a piss or a shit. Let's get off here.
You'll always have Nolan Ryan in 1969.
That's right.
Yep.
Dude,
and then the 85 Mets who won on, well, they should.
And then the only New York Mets no-hitter of all time. You know who that is?
Ooh, hold on. Before you answer this, I can answer this question.
I think I can too.
Is it David Cohn?
No.
Oh shit.
Is it?
Right, hold on.
Wait. Oh, is it Seaver?
No.
Wait, Johan Santana?
Yes.
Boom.
Johan Santana, the only Mets no-hitter, and that was before replay, because if replay had been a thing,
probably would have been
Carlos Beltran actually hit a single, which was clearly fair in the replay.
Oh, is this when Beltran was on the Royals?
Yeah, no, when he was on the Astros.
Oh, the Astros.
Oh no, wait, maybe. Fuck, I forget. Maybe it was when he was on the Royals.
It might have been when he was on the Royals.
Yeah,
that's tough because Santana, he made a name for himself on the Twins, and then went to the Mets.
Changeup,
and he was still a beast on the Mets.
Yeah.
It's like that's one of your few.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love Johan Santana, man. I was a giant Twins fan for a little while after Cal Ripken retired and before the Nationals existed. I was a Twins fan for like 4 or 5 seasons. I was lost. I had no baseball. Cal Ripken retired. The Orioles were just fucking terrible. They were already terrible before Ripken retired. I had no team. I was like, Peter Angelos bought the Orioles and just fucked everything with that organization. And like, I was like, oh my God, I'm just so lost. And for whatever reason, it was Doug Mankiewicz You guys remember Doug Mankiewicz?
It sounds familiar. I don't remember him though.
He was first baseman for the Minnesota Twins. He was also at the time when the Red Sox won the World Series, their first was it 2004, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first World Series since fucking whatever 1902 or whatever it was. Mankiewicz was the first baseman that caught the baseball when they threw it to first to win the World Series. And there's actually a funny story with Mankiewicz because he stuck the ball in his back pocket, and the Red Sox and the MLB Hall of Fame wanted that ball, and Mankiewicz told them to go fuck themselves. And to this day, he still has it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
that's awesome.
I love Doug Mankiewicz, man. He was the first baseman for the Twins when the Twins had their little resurgence there after they were terrible for like almost a decade. Mankiewicz, real good hitter. His career batting average, I think, is like close to 300.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's like 287 or something like that. But he won I want to say he won like 4 straight Gold Gloves at first base for the Twins.
Damn.
It might have been 5. He was solid in the field. Super solid first baseman. And one of my favorite things when I watch baseball players in the modern era is dudes who don't wear batting gloves.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And Mankiewicz was one of those guys in the era where like everyone wore batting gloves. Nowadays there's a solid amount of guys who don't do it. It's
Justin
still not
Moore,
that many.
wherever he is. Yeah, no.
Vlad was the last killer who did it, who didn't wear them.
Yeah,
Vlad Guerrero,
True. Yeah, of course. Senior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mankiewicz was in that era, and he also didn't. He was like a consistent 300 hitter.
Yeah.
Mankiewicz was like Gold Glove first baseman who would hit like 310 with 11 home runs and 68 RBIs. And and everything was covered in pine tar.
I love that.
It's like
it's on their fucking jersey. It's on their helmet somehow.
Yeah,
like it's just everywhere.
He's like the embodiment of my favorite Major League Baseball player. Through right, hit left. You know,
they need spotters to get out of their car after the game.
Yeah. You know, you see him out in the parking lot and he's like smoking a cigarette, you know.
That's awesome.
So
right, Travis, you got one more.
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench?
Yep, that's my guy.
Cool.
That's just my guy.
Hard to keep off of there.
Yeah,
man, I don't know.
Real quick before we move on, I'll talk to you. So I was at Yankee Stadium this past week.
That's right. I wanted to ask you about that.
Oh yeah, that's right. How was
I've been looking forward to talking about this. It was, and I'll never say anything good about the people from the North, but it was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. So my girls went to go see a Broadway play, so I hopped the train to the Bronx, and dude, I'm on this train and it's just filled with Yankees fans. I'm in civilian clothes. Mm-hmm. And so we get off, everyone gets off, you get off the subway, you walk up the stairs, and bam, there it is. Like Yankee Stadium, right in the middle of the Bronx. It was fucking awesome. And so I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. I bought just a random ticket. I never went to my seat. I just stood in standing room only behind home plate. And the stadium was fucking beautiful. It was awesome. I got to see Giancarlo just mash a baseball like I used to on the Marlins. And it was fucking awesome. I was so happy to scratch that one off the list. I would go back to that stadium anytime. Like, it was so cool. And then as we were leaving, we're out of LaGuardia. I saw City Field, and it was just like, I don't know, like Pigpen from Peanuts? Like,
yeah,
like there was just like all around City Field, there's just like smog and like the green smelly lines and shit.
Oh, Ron, being a Mets. All right, so I have to interrupt here for a second. Being a Mets fan for so long, Ron, I have to imagine that you went to Shea Stadium a time or two.
Many times.
Yeah, do you know the
That's
green?
Why I'll die of cancer in 10 years.
Yeah, because of the green pond.
Green
pond I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That pond that nobody went near. And you were all, it's the toxic waste pond that's next to Shea Stadium. You know about this, Travis? Do you know about this pond?
Yeah, I do know about the pond. Actually, I think I know about this because you sent it to me.
This
You
is
see
You're
it
like,
from
look at
space."
this. Look at this shitty pond.
it's the old toxic waste pond that used to be next to Shea Stadium that everybody just kind of was like, yeah, it's there.
Yep.
Yep. This is why these things happened. This is why these things happen.
Yeah, that's was there anything was the old stadium still standing by any chance?
Not that I noticed, but I don't think so. But I mean, honestly,
Oh,
dude,
Are
you get
talking
off
about
the
the Yankees Stadium?
Yeah.
Oh no, that got torn down.
Okay.
I
A
thought
minute
so.
ago. Yeah, it got
You
torn.
wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know it because
Yeah.
you get off the chain. You get off the train and you're fucking right there at this Coliseum, like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
massive structure. Like
I
No,
know
there was a debate
Go ahead.
over the old stadium. The old
Okay.
stadium stood for, I believe, 2 years after the new one opened, and they had it as a museum for a while. But New York City,
Okay.
being New York City, was like, we need space
Yeah, there's no sentimental value. There's no sentiment
across the street from each other,
Yeah.
and it was a big deal.
Okay.
But in the end, they tore it down, and there's like housing development.
Yeah. So
Shit,
for Shea
that got
Shea
built up.
Stadium, like they most of Citi Field's parking lot is where Shea Stadium was,
Yeah,
but there's still Shea Stadium's home plate is still there in the parking lot. And they have like wiffle ball tournaments and stuff using that home plate, which I think is pretty cool.
Yes.
But
that's
Yeah.
bitching. They
Yeah.
have something at that, like the new Brave Stadium. Oh no, it's not home plate. It's where Hank Aaron's ball landed.
oh, sweet.
I
for
think they
the-
have something like that as well for 715. Yeah.
yeah, for 715.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the Mets did not keep the green pond that was next to Old Shea. No, they
No.
leveled that. There's no longer toxic waste in next to the
Yeah.
parking lot in the stadium.
Toxic Avenger had to move.
Yeah, it's a shame. It was
He
a staple.
retired. He went down to Florida.
It was a staple.
Him and everybody else.
It's
Yeah.
rumored that's where Mike Piazza used to have his family stay. Rumored.
There was also a
I-
huge stray cat problem at Shea Stadium where there was like multiple times a year cats would run onto the field in the middle of games.
This is actually true.
Yeah. Yep.
The only major league ballpark ever to have a stray cat problem. Shea Stadium.
Well, I mean, there's so many
Wait.
rats to eat.
Yeah, so many.
It's job security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were in New York for 3 days. I only saw one rat. I was so disappointed.
Really?
Oh
Was it
man,
on the
yeah.
subway?
It was
yeah.
in the subway. Yeah.
That makes sense. But where were you?
We
throughout-
stayed in Queens.
And
Okay.
you only saw one rat?
The only one rat, and we used the subway a lot. A lot.
Alright.
It's,
We
we were, trust me,
Game?
we were disappointed. We stayed at this really nice hotel. We were like 30 floors up with like a look over the city at night. And I was, because I
Nice.
went there and I was like, my daughter wants to go to college there. And I
Which one?
in NYU.
Okay.
And so I was like, all right, cool. Like I want her to go up and have a good time, but I want her to be like, I don't really like this city. You know,
Yeah.
I don't really want her to go that far from home, but I'm going to help her pursue her dreams one way or the other. She fucking loved it. She loved every bit of it.
Yeah. It's
We were
all over
walking
for
over
you
to
now.
Brooklyn. Yeah, dude, it's done. So I'm going to have to like move to New York when she goes to college or something.
You do realize that staying in Queens and really nice hotel don't compute, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me. I know. Because we're going to be living in a box under the bridge.
Which is still probably $500,000.
But one of my favorite New York City, this isn't sports relevant, but whatever. One of my favorite New York City memories, so I've had a ton of friends who have lived in New York City over my life. My mom was from there too. My friend Ryan was living in this apartment above this like mart. It was a bodega, I guess.
Mhm.
But the BQE, or for
Mhm.
anybody who doesn't know, the Brooklyn's Queen Expressway
Yeah.
It's the
was
one.
like right outside their living room window. Like it was like the second story apartment. I mean, and when I say right outside their living room window, you could open their living room window and talk to the people sitting in their cars, sitting in traffic.
and high five people driving by.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah.
So like you go up there and visit, we'd be sitting around watching TV, and there'd just be like some guy sitting in a car, like looking in the window watching TV with us. We go over and open the window. We'd be like, what's up, bro? Yeah, it was
One
just
thing,
out so you could hear the fucking TV.
craziest thing about it, just I haven't been up there in probably, I mean, it was like probably, I mean, my family's, I have a bunch of family from up in that region, from New Jersey to upstate New York. Like, so I've been there. The last time I was actually in the city was probably like 2003 or 4 or something. And so we're walking around like Central Park and whatever park, and kids are just fucking sitting there, like just hitting bongs, like hitting the bongs, just smoke, like it's completely decriminalized. And like cops are just walking by, and that's so foreign to me because Florida's 30 years behind on that shit.
Florida, or just Florida.
It's just Florida. It's just being Florida's always going to Florida. So, but I was just like, is this heaven? And it clearly isn't, because it was New York, and like I can't live there. It was fun to visit, dude. John's Bleecker Street Pizza, holy fuck! But
nice. You go to Bleecker Bob's record store by any chance? It might not still be there. I don't know.
We hit a record store. We hit a record store randomly. I don't know or remember which one it was.
Ron, do you know where that record store was? Bleecker Bob's, is that what you said?
Yeah, on Bleecker
Probably
Street.
on Bleecker Street.
Yeah. When he said Bleecker Pizza, that's why I kind of like.
Yeah, Bleecker Pizza's on Bleecker Street.
To be fair about the whole weed thing, even in the 80s and 90s, cops probably wouldn't care if you were ripping bong hits in Central Park.
Probably not. Wait, where's Bleecker Street exactly?
It's in like kind of on the outskirts of the West Village, kind of heading into the East Village near NYU, like Washington Square Park, kind of.
Dude,
Washington Square, yep.
I'm pretty sure I'm almost positive of it, because my same friend used to be the bar manager of the Fat Black Pussycat, which is in Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
And there was like a record store not too far down the street that I went shopping at. It's gotta be.
Yeah, Bleecker Bob's was like one of the more popular. Especially for like punk rock and shit. Like,
oh yeah, dude. Oh, that's gotta be the spot I went to.
Probably.
It has to be. Yeah. Because it was in Greenwich Village.
Were there like basketball courts nearby? Like people playing pickup games and shit?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude. Like we were just walking down the street. It was a random, like they had uniforms and shit. Like it was like a youth city league on this random side court. But people were like piled up all around to watch this basketball game. Yeah. And so like I watched a little of it too. Like these kids were fucking tremendous. That's awesome. It was just weird because you're just walking down the street and there's just a shit like a fenced-in enclosure that's a basketball court. Yep. And like with a bunch of randoms watching it. Like I
like in the middle of the city. Yeah.
Street ball, man, they take that shit for real.
Hell yeah.
No, dude, it was awesome to see.
It's like a religion up there, man.
It is.
It was awesome to see. We did. So my daughter has like, I mean, I didn't do it on purpose, but she has the same sense of humor that I have. And so like we were walking over the Brooklyn Bridge, or when we were just walking around the city, I would just give her this look and like, all right, we're going to do a bit. And so I would like come over and like, we're just walking down the street. It's crowded as fuck. I would just put my arm around her. I was like, babe, do you remember when that place I used to get the gabagool from? And she's like, Joey's? I'm like, yeah, Joey's. You remember how much I used to get there? She's like, always a half pound of gabagool every Sunday. I'm like, you know what Joey just told me? Joey just told me that I can only get a pound of gabagool. Can you fucking believe this? She's like, you've been getting a half pound since I was born. And I'm like, I know, kiddo. What's going on around here? Joey's slipping.
The gabagool.
I just had to. We probably did it 4 times. We did it in Brooklyn. We did it in Queens. She wasn't with me in the Bronx, but we did it over the Brooklyn Bridge, and we were just killing it.
I'm surprised some random New Yorker didn't say "fuck Joey."
That's what I was worried about. You're supposed to go to Corinzo's. It's like those fucks in Philly with their cheesesteaks.
Fuck Philly.
Yeah,
don't ever go there, even if you want fucking cheesesteaks. It's worthless.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that Geno's and Pat's, like, you'll never find anybody from Philadelphia going to Geno's or Pat's.
Hell no, not a single fucking person. If you want to go get cheesesteaks in Philadelphia and you don't want to catch hate from Philadelphians, well, I guess just don't go to Philadelphia. But
or talk to a Philadelphian and ask
you have to go get steaks. Don't go to Geno's or Pat's.
Yeah.
You guys,
there's two of my uncle, his wife, my aunt, they're all, that whole side of the family's from Philly. They're huge Eagles fans. And them being part owners of the business I work at, they're like, all right, we're flying into Philly this year for the Phillies Dolphins game. And I'm like, all right, like I don't know how I'm going to handle this, but I mean, if the opportunity arises, I'm totally going to go. I'm just going to wear regular civilian clothes, so don't throw batteries at me.
Yep.
Because I mean, if they fucking did it to Santa Claus, they'll do it to me.
Yeah.
They literally will do it to anyone, and they do it to everyone.
I told you the Mets fans have AIDS story. I told you that.
Yes. I don't think it was on. It was on the music podcast. I don't think it was on the sports podcast when you told that story. I don't know if you want to update the listeners.
Yeah. I went to. So my wife, her whole family's from Philly, so she's a Phillies fan, Eagles fan.
That explains the black eye, Ronnie.
Yeah. And so, and when we first got together, she was actually living in Philadelphia, and we had like a long distance thing for a while to go up there on weekends. And we went to a Mets Phillies game. I was stupidly, let me add that word, wearing a Mets jersey at a Mets Phillies game in Philadelphia.
I know. I know that works.
I had beer dumped on me. I was in line getting ice cream, and like all of a sudden this beer starts dripping. I look up and some dudes jump, whatever. But there was a fight that broke out in our section, and this Philly fan with like this ripped jersey was being dragged away by security. And right before he goes down the tunnel, he rips away from security and just looks at our whole section and just yells, "Mets fans have AIDS." And then I immediately turned to my girlfriend at the time and was like, "I'm really sorry you had to find out this way."
It's the best fucking story.
It's so good.
But it doesn't even matter. It's not even like that hurtful these days because it's like nearly curable, and it's not even a thing that happens anymore. Right. So it's like he's going to have to up his disease.
It's just so funny of all the things you could have said before going into the tunnel.
Mets fans have AIDS.
Your answer is the best possible thing ever. I'm so sorry you had to find out this way.
Oh God.
Fucking Philly, man.
I guess someone else should do a list.
Yeah.
We've gotten off the beaten path, fellas.
Matt, you want me to go or you want to go?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead if you got it. If you got it, yeah.
Yeah. So my Rushmore of Mount Rushmore of fandom, baseball fandom. I'm going to start with my way back in the day guy, Jackie Robinson.
Okay, that's solid choice. I
think the coolest play in all of sports, not just baseball, but in all of sports, is when somebody steals home.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching clips of Jackie Robinson steal home when I was a little kid, and I'd be like, I was so confused, like how did he do that? The pitcher had the ball, like the pitcher's right there. Like how did that just happen?
I don't know.
And I actually have a framed picture of him stealing home above my TV in my living room, which is one of my favorite pictures of all time. So Jackie Robinson is definitely up there because he's one of the coolest motherfuckers, and he was like my where Michael Jackson's Thriller kind of got me into music. Seeing him steal home as a little kid was like, holy shit, this dude, baseball's awesome. So Jackie Robinson.
Two players have legit done that season.
Yeah.
Like while the pitcher had the ball and stole home.
Yeah.
And one of them, Ellie De La Cruz from the Reds. And the other one was CJ Abrams from the Nationals.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's the craziest fucking play.
Like, and
it's so dangerous. Like,
yeah.
That's the dude. Did you see that little leaguer? It was just, I don't know if it was from
I saw the video of that. Yeah.
And the kid swung over top of him as he slid in. I'm like, that kid would have been eating dinner through a straw for the rest of his life if that went wrong, Like,
yep.
No, Jackie was a great pick, dude. Like, Jackie's just enshrined for me.
Yeah.
Like, he's already in baseball heaven. I didn't even think to say that because it was just a given, but I'm fucking glad you did.
Yeah.
A beast. He was a beast.
He was.
He didn't just break the color barrier at the time. He was also a fucking beast. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Absolute animal. Him and Henry, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. For me, the second one is going to be Rusty Staub. So he was on the Mets. He was the first Mets player that I remember watching, the first really good Mets player. He was on the Montreal Expos. He was on the Mets twice in his career. The last time was from 81 to 85. Nicknamed Le Grand Orange because he had orange hair. It's also the only bobblehead that I own is a Rusty Staub bobblehead. So, so those are my first two. And now I'm going totally 86 Mets fanboy with the last three. Dwight Gooden. That dude was a fucking beast. I remember watching a game where he hit somebody with a pitch and they charged the mound. And he threw his glove down and started walking towards the batter, and the batter ran to first base.
That's some Goose Gossage shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, coked up good.
Yeah. I mean, cocaine should be on my list too, actually. That should be my crazy horse.
Single-handedly ruined Darryl Strawberry's career.
Yeah. Speaking of Strawberry, that's number 4 for me. So yeah, Jackie Robinson, Rusty Staub, Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry. The fifth one is tough. It's for me, it's between 3 people: Ron Darling, Gary Carter, or Keith Hernandez.
Gotta be Carter.
Yeah, it's got to be Gary Carter.
It's got to be Gary Carter. I used to want to change my last name to Darling when I was growing up, because Ron Darling was the only Ron that I knew that played baseball, and I was like infatuated with him. But
okay, that makes sense because I was gonna say Ron Darling wasn't that good.
No, he wasn't that good, but his name was Ron. I was a kid. I loved the Mets.
Yeah, he was good, and your name was
But I'll go with the kid, Gary Carter. For my,
it's gotta be Gary Carter.
I would go with Gary Carter.
Yeah.
I'm actually texting right now. I'm texting the bass player in Old Habits because his last name's Darling, and I never put 2 and 2 together. And he's from New York. So
nice.
Are you related?
Awesome.
Gary Carter changed that position.
Yeah.
He did. He changed because
he really did.
Yeah, it was Carlton Fisk and then him. Like before, Gary Carter was like, he was a superstar catcher, which you just.
I mean, you had Johnny Bench like on Travis's.
Yeah, but they get like Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench, Carlton Fisk, Gary Carter. Like those were the 4 superstar catchers. There really wasn't any, and there was one for each era. You know.
Yeah. R.I.P. Gary Carter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I 100% agree. Gary Carter was a beast, man.
Yeah. His blonde curly hair.
Oh man, him and fucking Carlton Fisk. As a kid, I just remember like people trying to barrel over them at the plate as a catcher, and they would just level people.
Yeah.
Gary Carter and Carlton
Gary
Fisk,
Carter didn't give a fuck.
They would fuck people up. Yeah.
That 80, I mean, even if you hate the Mets, that 86 Mets team was such a fun team to. I wish I was older so I could have enjoyed it more, but man, that was a good team.
That was a good team. The 90s era catcher, hot take. I'm taking Javi Lopez over Mike Piazza.
Yeah.
Javi Lopez was good. He was.
Yeah.
he
And
was great.
Didn't have that. He just didn't have that shimmer that Mike Piazza has. But
Javi Lopez was great, but he was
huge. He was like 6'4", 6'3" or something.
Yeah, he was an amazing catcher. He was.
Yep.
I mean, he won a World Series with the Braves.
Yeah.
I still think it's weird the Braves only won one World Series out of that era.
Just one.
Just the one.
With the best pitching staff of all time, in my opinion.
Without a doubt. Not even in your opinion, without a doubt. It's gotta be.
Like was Smoltz, Wohlers, Glavine, Avery, Maddox, fucking.
Was Wohlers the number 5 guy?
Wohlers was the 5 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was Maddox, Avery, Maddox
Smoltz was there. Maddox,
Smoltz, Glavine, Avery,
Wohlers.
And Wohlers.
Yeah.
That was their
It's ridiculous.
I mean, come on. Like, and with Bobby Cox as your manager and Leo Mazzoni as your pitching coach. Like the fact that it was only
Javi Lopez as your catcher, right?
Javi Lopez as your fucking catcher. And
Larry
Eddie
Jones.
Perez as your backup. And fucking your boy Larry, right? Yellow Teeth.
Was the old Chipper Jones.
Yeah.
Old Yellow Teeth. Was Chipper Jones on the team? He wasn't he? He was a rookie, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
with the World Series. Yeah.
Was he a rookie? Is that correct?
I don't know if it was his rookie.
It was one of his
season, but he was
first 2 or 3
early.
seasons. Yeah.
The early season.
He was definitely early.
Yeah, they had a good team.
Well, I told you he has a kid named Shea, right? Chipper Jones.
Yeah.
Because he owned Shea Stadium. Fucker.
I always loved how Bobby Cox ran that organization and like the people that were on that team. I don't know, just how they conducted themselves and they played the game correctly. And then this fucking piece of shit, John Rocker, comes in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was short-lived and rightfully so. I mean, he was a great, strong closer, dude. He threw the shit out of the ball, but he was a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, he
was a piece of shit.
Yeah, and then he went to the Mets, right?
Did he go to the Mets?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. John Rocker?
He did go to the Mets. Wait, that's because that's where he got in trouble when they were playing the Mets.
No. That's when the Braves were in New York, and he made those comments. Right. Is when he got in trouble.
The only thing that I disagree with about the Mets and Citi Field, because Citi Field is beautiful, it's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. I disagree when they changed all the fences and all the hitters. I liked it way better when it was a pitcher's park.
Yeah.
I bet you Mets fans would like it way better if it was still a pitcher's park.
Yes, we would.
Like, I like the fences the way they were previous to when they made the changes. They played with it for 2 seasons.
Yeah, used to piss all the teams off.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so old school and so deep in center field. Yeah, it was so good. I was so mad that they changed all of it. I was like, they made Citi Field. I was like, this is the coolest fucking ballpark in the major leagues now, hands down. It's so good. And they made the changes. I was like, nope. You dropped from the coolest ballpark in the major leagues to like number 27.
Yeah.
That's pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They turned it from this really unique old school feeling ballpark into a complete generic ball.
Just every other ballpark. Yeah.
Yep. The outside is cool when you walk up to it. You're like, oh, cool. This looks all old school and fucking awesome. Yep. This place is fucking rad. And then you walk in and you're like, why'd they change the fences? This is just bullshit generic. Yeah. It's all just regular.
Shout out my brick with my name on it in the on the walkway outside of Citi Field.
Man, those first 2 years at Citi Field, man, I was like, I almost started liking the Mets a little bit. I was like, wow, this ballpark is really fucking cool. Like the high wall in left field, it's like impossible to hit a home run to left center. Like it's like, it's like 414 to center. They've got this really unique jut out in fucking right field where you can hit a home run in the upper. But if you hit it below the upper deck, it's probably not going to be a home run. And then it juts out.
Hey, Ronnie, did you have to buy 2 bricks because you have so many vowels in your last name?
Yeah.
And they couldn't fit it on 1 brick?
It's funny, when I played baseball growing up, a friend of mine,
shoulder.
Somebody asked a friend of mine where I was in the field. He's like, it's the guy with the alphabet on the back of his shirt.
All 26 letters and all the vowels next to each other. I just always feel bad because I like Ronnie so much, but then like his teams are like my foes, like absolute foes.
Yeah, but also absolute non-threats to anybody.
Well,
it's not like you're a Red Sox
don't
fan.
Even bring up the Jets. Don't even bring up the Jets. Shut up with the Jets. Shut up, Matt. Shut up. I'm tired of hearing it.
I'm riding on Matt. This whole Matt has me excited. Not fucking
Jets Nation collectively.
Not Aaron Rodgers. Matt has me excited for the Jets.
He's like the biggest hype boy for that team since Aaron Rodgers went over there.
Jets Nation collectively fucking had like a mini stroke the other day when Aaron Rodgers' foot got stepped on.
Oh God, it was hilarious. They're like, we'll never win again.
Yeah.
He's dead.
His foot got stepped on and he kind of limped a little bit.
He was just like, it was like stubbing your toe on the coffee table. He was like, ouch.
Yeah.
He was like, ouch. And they're all like, wow, fuck.
We already lost. We going home and selling 18 or whatever.
Who let that
they're
mosquito bite his arm? Damn it.
They're like tank for whoever's next in the draft.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck. It's gonna be interesting.
Insufferable, those people.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. My team's fans are no less of jumping to conclusions.
Well, hopefully they change the name back, or not back, but like change it to something.
Yeah,
else.
they're going to. There's no way they keep the name that Snyder chose.
Yeah,
because like it's not even like the fans chose the name by a vote. Like
right.
Commanders was chosen
because it's got his stank on it still.
Well, there was a 4-month process of them telling the fan base that we were going to get to choose the name of the new team, the new team name. And they did a 4-month voting process by elimination where they chose 10 team names and we all got to whittle it down to one. And Commanders was not one of those 10 names. So we as fans spent 4 months whittling this down by process of elimination to the one that the fans chose. And it came down to Red Hogs versus Red Wolves. And Red Wolves won. And then they named the team the Commanders.
Yeah, I find that a lie. I know you people were like voting for football, McFootball team.
We spent 4 months going through this process only to find out that the name was going to be changed to something that wasn't on that list. In typical Dan Snyder fashion.
What a dickhead. I'm not even a fucking Skins fan, but I feel you on that one, man.
That guy is shitty.
And then on top, they said, "Well, okay, we're sorry about that, but you guys are gonna get to like we hired this like $10 million fucking like clothing company to do the design, and we're gonna do you guys right with the new uniforms." And then the uniforms came out and it looked like ketchup and mustard. It's not even burgundy and gold. It's ketchup and mustard. And we're all like, what? And the helmets don't even have gold face masks on them anymore. And the helmet color is like an off red from what the uniform color is. So it looks so weird. Bad. And we're like, what is going on? And then we find out that they didn't hire this big firm to do it. Dan Snyder's wife.
Yeah.
He did it. Yeah. And we're all like, what? Yeah, this is who our owner was. This is who our owner was.
I honestly really thought that when it was just called the football team, I thought that was bitching. I was like, all right, this is like coolly passive aggressive and also like the Washington football team. It's fucking awesome.
Yep. Dan, see, that was Dan Snyder's best idea that he ever had as owner of this team. And the only reason he had that idea was because he thought he was shoving his middle finger up the ass of the NFL.
Yeah.
By them forcing him to change the name. And he said, fine, I'm not even going to come up with a name. I'm just going to call it the football team. What do you think of that? And everyone fucking loved it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And so the only reason changed the name was, again, to say fuck you to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
It made me think like maybe we can be like the Miami football team, the Miami baseball team.
Yeah.
Like
it was the perfect choice for a team that, you know, for the longest time, we didn't really have much of anything relevant to call the team historically.
Or DC Football Club would have been cool too. DCFC.
Oh man. That sounds soccerish, but yeah.
It's almost like the perfect name for a team that needs to get rid of its name. You know, like, okay, well, whatever. We'll just be the football team. And for the 2 years we had it, at the end of that second season, most of the fans were embracing it already. Most of the fans were like, well, we should just keep it the football team.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, it's cool. Maybe let's revamp the uniforms.
It's cool in its simplicity. It's kind of badass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sad if we went back to it, to be honest. Yeah. It's better than Commanders. It's like worlds better than Commanders.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid.
I was all along the way voting for Werewolves. I think the Washington Werewolves would be cool as fuck. But
that would be cool.
If we can have the Seattle Kraken, why can't we have the Washington Werewolves? But Werewolves was only a little bit of a Reddit sensation for about a week.
Hogs would be cool.
Or Red Hogs.
Yeah.
I think Red Hogs currently is like the preferred name amongst most of the fan base. And I would be totally cool with Red Hogs.
Yeah.
Because you can keep the fight song.
Right.
You know, hail to the Red Hogs. Like,
yeah.
Easy.
Oh, well, if that's the fight song, that's a fucking given. That's a clear avenue.
Oh, you don't know our fight song?
Why would I know your fight song?
Bro, our fight song's the best fight song in all of
it is a good fight song, yeah.
I highly disagree.
Hands down, dude. There's not even a question. It has been since it was written in like the 20s.
Hail to the Redskins.
Well, go ahead, give it to me.
The first giant I
sing it right now.
Well, I'm gonna do it with Redskins.
Do it.
Okay.
Because that's what it
as God intended.
That's what
as God intended.
I don't know about that, but this is what the OG version of it, like the first verse is like, hail to the Redskins, hail victory, Braves on the warpath, fight for all DC.
You know, it used to be fight for all Dixie.
Yeah, at one point.
When they were like the most southernmost football team.
Yeah, but our original owner, who was worse than Dan Snyder somehow, was a real piece of shit.
Yeah,
he was like
that was really short though. That was a really short fight song.
Oh no, it goes on for like 3 more verses, but I
was about to say because the Dolphins fight song is like fucking Freebird.
Yeah. It's same. I don't know every.
It just goes.
If I had the lyrics in front of me, I could sing you the whole entire song, but I don't know all the lyrics by heart because it's long.
They should call the DC fight songs. That would be awesome.
Oh, we should just start a marketing firm.
We should.
And
OBH
you guys
marketing.
can have all the good ideas, and I will just kind of hang out.
I did rewrite our fight song for when they renamed our team the Commanders, though, or the Commies, if you will.
Commies.
Play it on us.
Yeah, I rewrote this one, so it's let's see if I can remember this here. It's been a while since I've sung this. Oh god damn it.
Fly, commies, fly.
No. Well, no, we're not going Eagles here.
Fly commies.
That's why it's so great when everybody says the Travis is a Dolphins fan. They say fly Dolphins fly. It's like
it's so all right. So I have a Dolphins hat that I have specially embroidered that my daughter got me, or it's a Dolphins hat, and it says "Fly Dolphins Fly" on the side. Is my everyday hat, and so there's a reason that came that way. My family, who is Eagles fans, and then like one of my closest friends, who is pretty much family, is a huge Eagles fan, and so he was like, "It's been so long, I don't remember exactly how it came to be, but it was kind of like a me mocking him type thing." Mm-hmm. But now, fucking every time the Dolphins score a touchdown, any points at all, everyone that's watching the game, we all sing "Fly Dolphins Fly" over the road to victory. And it started as a mockery, and now it's just what happens.
That's awesome.
Fly Dolphins Fly. Hashtag Fly Dolphins Fly. Did you think of it?
No.
Well, how about you do your list of baseball players instead?
Yeah.
Oh God, we're way off that.
Off of that. It'll come back to me, and I'll sing it on a further episode. But
we're lost like a babe in the woods.
Oh, I got it. It's hail to the commies, hail victory, power to the proletariat, fight the bourgeoisie.
Beautiful.
Some of those words had 3 syllables there, but I don't know if they're going to be able to handle it.
All right. anyways, on to my my Mount Rushmore of baseball fandom.
Yes.
Okay, so first and foremost goes Cal Ripken Jr.
Nice.
He's my all-time favorite baseball player.
Mhm.
Period, hands down, no questions asked. Number two is the big train, Walter Johnson,
All right.
1920s era, Washington Senators baseball. He is, outside of Cy Young, he is the greatest pitcher that has ever played the game.
My college roommate / friend Gabe went to Walter Johnson High School. Shout out Gabe Forrester.
Walter Johnson was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Big train could not be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Then number three would be my boy, the original National, Ryan Zimmerman.
Fuck that guy.
Came in and played my position, third base.
Yeah.
He was the first official draft pick of the Washington Nationals, as they became a team after the Expos, and won a World Series with them in his last season. Tore it up in the playoffs too. He's my boy.
Jeff Luria is a piece of shit, though.
Who?
Well, he was the one who dissolved the Expos. He was the owner of the Expos.
Oh, all right, yeah. Okay.
And then he was the owner of the Marlins with that big stupid fucking thing in center field because he was an art dealer. He wasn't a baseball fan.
Yeah.
And then when Loria finally sold the team is when the Marlins finally started to right the ship a little bit. It was a long process, but still on that path. But Loria didn't give a fuck about baseball.
Fuck that voodoo. Isn't that voodoo statue on the outside of the stadium now?
It's like on the outside somewhere. And you know what? There was a point in my life where I was so like just giving into it, where I was just like, I love the statue.
No.
I love the statue. And I didn't even mean it.
Yeah, so it's a voodoo statue.
It's a voodoo statue.
It was messing with your brainwaves, man.
It was, dude. It done fucked me up.
With all the things going over each other like this and the spinning shit. Like that shit,
dude.
Hypnotized. Yeah, voodoo mamba. It's got a voodoo mamba.
So, like in City Field, the apple comes up. You know, who cares? The guy at the fucking Brewer Stadium slides down the thing. Who cares? Our little thing went off when we hit a home run. Who cares? Like it's all on the same who cares level. And that thing was just an eyesore in center field.
I think
it was $2 million. That thing was like $2 million.
No, it was like $20 million.
It said millions of dollars.
Yeah, it was a lot of money to build that fucking thing.
Yeah. And I was just sitting in the parking lot.
Didn't the Brewer mascot like come out of that slide like a few years back and get really hurt? I feel like he did.
I think I remember they actually got him they got him hammered ass drunk and they're like, go Brewy, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Brewy. It's got to be Brewy. I don't think it is,
Brewy.
but it's
Brewy the Brewer.
Brewster.
Anybody who's a Milwaukee Brewers fan right now hates us, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. They drink milk while they're eating a cheeseburger. What the fuck is this now? They deserve all the hate they get.
All right. How many players did I just go?
That was 3.
Oh yeah, it was Cal Ripken, Walter Johnson,
and Dickhead. I mean Ryan Zimmerman.
Why do you dislike Ryan Zimmerman?
Because I'm a Mets fan. He used to kill us. That's the same reason why I hate Chipper Jones.
That's fair.
Totally selfish reasons.
He did totally kill you guys. Ryan Zimmerman was a Met killer.
Yeah,
that's for serious. My fanboy. I gotta go with man. I gotta go with Travis on this one. On my fanboy, I gotta pick the greatest hitter of all time, Ted Williams. He's on mine too.
Nice.
Daddy fucking Williams.
I'm such a baseball historian. I just all throughout my childhood and my teens, all I did was fucking study baseball statistics. And Ted Williams is a man. He's a beast among men when it comes to hitting. No one could touch Ted Williams. No one.
He figured it out. He fucking figured it out. Like the modern era of hitting is based off his fundamentals, even though it's vastly different.
And I know people try to say Ty Cobb, and
Ty Cobb's a piece of shit.
Era. They played in different eras.
Yeah.
They played. Ted Williams hit against pitchers who could throw 90-mile-an-hour fastballs and 80-mile-an-hour sliders. Ty Cobb played an era where the only motherfucker that could throw an 80-mile-an-hour slider was Walter Johnson, which is why Walter Johnson was so good.
Yeah.
Arguably because they raced his fastball against the cop motorcycle. So who knows if it was even fucking 80. It could have been 78. Nobody even knows. But regardless, Ty Cobb was I don't want to say he was a piece of shit of a human being, but he was. But he had a lot of mental health issues as well.
He was a piece of shit of a human being. He stabbed people with his cleats.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just
if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Yeah. I mean, he would have smoked cigarettes on the base paths if you let him.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, it's rumored that he used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a racist piece of shit.
I
guess so many of them were back then.
Oh, he was. Yeah. I mean, so yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Ted Williams is on there because he's the last player to ever hit 400. He was, and he. His stats could have been so much better, but he left baseball to go fight in World War II. And he didn't just go fight in World War II. He was a fucking fighter pilot.
Yeah.
The motherfucker left baseball and went to go fight in World War II. And they were like, oh, you can fly a plane? And he was like, well, no, teach me. And then they taught him how to fly a plane in that quick of a fucking time period. And he went and flew fighter jets in World War II with not knowing how to do that previously and came back. Not only did he come back, he was like one of the most decorated fucking pilots.
That's because he was so good at hitting a baseball. He was probably shooting the bullets. He's like, I can see every bullet.
Hell yeah.
I guess I can see every bullet exactly where it's going.
Yep.
He like learned how to fly a fighter jet in basic training, was like, fuck it, I'm ready. And they just threw him out there.
Yeah.
He was like one of the best pilots we had. Like,
isn't his brain cryogenically frozen somewhere?
Yes, that is true.
That's awesome.
Like, what the fuck? So yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was 4. So I got one more. Ugh, one more. This is a difficult one. Oh, Fandom? Nope, not
Fandom.
difficult. Motherfucker I talked about earlier in this podcast. Doug Minkiewicz.
There you go.
Boom. One of my 5 all-time favorite baseball players, apparently. Yep.
Nice.
Did you just figure that out? Like apparently it's one of my 5 favorites.
I didn't know if he was going to be top 5. Guess what? He is.
Awesome.
Yeah, there it is. That's my Fandom ones.
Hell yeah.
Not who I think are best all time.
Right.
My favorites.
We didn't talk about any off the wall stupid sport today.
I know.
No. Yeah, we'll get back to it.
Yeah, we'll have serious ones every now and then.
Maybe.
I like this one. I like that one a lot. I like this one.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good.
I figured lists are fun, and I figured, what better list than a Mount Rushmore like we always do on our other podcasts. So yeah. What will be our next crazy sport?
I'd say it should be 43-man Squamish.
Okay, because that's what I was looking forward to. Because I still have no idea what the fuck that is. But...
Oh, this sport is great. 43-man Squamish was
awesome.
43-man Squamish.
I'm well versed in 43-man Squamish, so this is gonna be a good one.
A quick history of 43-man Squamish. 43-man Squamish was a sport that Mad Magazine decided was real.
That's all you have to say, right?
Mad Magazine in the 1960s decided that they were going to try to fake a sport and come up with something that was just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And they did, and it was hilarious. And then a bunch of colleges started implementing it off of their rules. And then colleges played it for like more than a decade. And it does consist of 43 men on each side. And the rules are fucking ridiculous and hilarious. So yeah, this sport actually did get played for a little while. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's very true. I actually have blood. My uncle is in the Iowa State Hall of Fame for 43 minutes.
No, I think you're talking about 2-on-2 dismounted muggalore.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It was 2-on-2 dismounted muggalore.
That's so funny.
My mistake.
Yeah,
that's the third time Travis mistake.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was like, a year from now, like, no, it was baseball. Like, fuck, he is in the baseball Hall of Fame.
I use the same uncle. I do have an uncle that's in the Iowa State Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Nice.
And so I just use that same reference. And so I was just like, I can't remember if it's the Squamish or the dismounted muggalore.
Yeah,
but I'm really blowing my cover here.
These obscure sports get hard to keep track of.
Jesus Christ. I thought it was hard with the fucking, what was it? What's the broomstick? The Quidditch.
Quidditch. Yeah, Quidditch. Yeah, I know. I did these obscure sports because there's a lot more that we're going to cover. We got fucking tech ball. We got botashi. There's so many obscure sports. Whenever we cover
botashi party tonight.
Yeah,
botashi. Oh God, I knew it was coming.
Well, just so it's clear, botashi is a pole climbing sport.
That doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, awesome. Botashi party tonight.
Not far off.
If you climb the pole hard enough in botashi, you will have a party.
Oh yeah.
And confetti may or may not be involved. Shooting confetti.
I love it.
Yeah.